The Harley Benton Dullahan was the budget headless guitar. It was light, it was playable, it looked cool, and it cost less than a night out in Stockholm. So naturally, they discontinued it. Because why wouldn't you kill one of your most in-demand guitars? That would just make too much sense. And for years, us headless guitar nerds have waited. We watched the product page, we clicked notified me like it actually meant something. We believed. But Harley Benton, they ghosted us harder than a Tinder date who finds out you play Dream Theater covers. And guess what? While Harley Benton was busy doing sweet fuck all, Ola Englund was quietly plotting his revenge. From the snowy wastelands of Sweden comes this. Ola just lost his head. Hi, I'm Glenn Fricker. I've been running a home studio since 1998, and in that time, I've recorded more guitar players than I care to remember. And along the way, I've discovered a few uncomfortable truths. The kind of truths that, if you say them out loud, will get you excommunicated from your local tone cult, or at least thrown out of a Facebook metal production group. Ask me how I know! Truth number 1. Swapping your vacuum tubes does not revoice your amplifier. Despite what the ad copy says, you're not going to get punchy yet warm lows, creamy mids, and a sparkling top end. You are going to get very slightly different distortion characteristics that you'll pretend to be able to hear because you just spent $320 on a box of fucking light bulbs. So slight, in fact, that nobody's ever going to be able to pick them out of a mix. Number 2, pickups are not magical. They're not sacred, they're not the tonal soul of your instrument. If they're not squealing like a pig in heat, congratulations, the ones you have are absolutely fine. And if you want to change your tone, use a parametric EQ pedal like a functioning adult. You'll get the same results without paying somebody named Todd $200 to melt solder on your guitar. And finally, and this one's really important, in a double blind test, nobody can tell what's a $5,000 PRS 10 top or a $269 Harley Benton. Nobody. What actually matters is, does it stay in tune? Is it comfortable to play? Can you make it through a song without your fretting hand cramping up like a dead spider? Because tone doesn't come from your maple cap or your boutique pickups or your spiritual connection to your fretboard. It comes from your speaker. And everything else is just cosplay for insecure man-children who think buying gear is a substitute for taste. Now, it's no secret, a lot of gear manufacturers absolutely hate what I do. Hell, a lot of guitar players have spent way too much money hate what I do. But here's the thing. Fuck those guys, I don't work for them, I work for you. You're the one who took your time out of your day to click on this video, so I'm gonna give you what you came here for. A review without any corporate ass kissing. So when my third favorite Swede asked me to check out his new headless model, I said, you sure about that? You want me reviewing your totally new, completely unique, never seen before headless guitar? One that doesn't look like anything else currently on the market. Okay, you asked for it. I like Solar guitars. A lot. So much, in fact, that it's becoming a legitimate workplace hazard. I've started tripping over them here in the studio. This place is turning into a Solar graveyard, and I'm not even mad about it. Thing is, I've liked Solar guitars before they were even Solar guitars. Back when they said Washburn on the headstock and nobody on YouTube had yet figured out how to scream over gent riffs and drop Q. I took up that old Moon on the Water cover from a few years ago, and boom, there it was. Washburn Solar. Amazing guitar. Gave it away to a fan. I'm still jealous that he got it. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with history, my friendship with Ola goes way back about 20 years. We used to hang out on the Andy Sneap forum, a magical land before the dark times, before the Facebook, where a bunch of us broke nerds traded reamping tips and tried to figure out how to get good tones without spending $5,000 on a new set of converters. A shocking number of those people now work professionally in metal, which either means that forum was brilliant or this industry is completely fucked. Possibly both. In 2024, I went to Sweden because, obviously, saw Stockholm, had the meatballs, checked out some metal clubs, and did coffee with Ola. And yeah, he's exactly what you'd think. Nice guy, great guitars, and no, he's not secretly a corporate lizard person. At least as far as I can tell. So when I heard that Solar was putting out a headless, my first thought was, of course they are. Because it's 2025, and if your guitar doesn't look like a Scandinavian murder whackman, do you even metal, bro? I know. Headless guitars are divisive. Some people love them. Some people think they're an affront to God, Crom, and guitars that double as coffee tables. But facts don't care about your headstock nostalgia. Headless guitars have legitimate advantages. They're smaller, which means smaller cases, easier to fly with, less chance of baggage handlers snapping your dreams in half. And they also have better tuning stability. No headstock means fewer things bend or break. Combine that with good hardware and you can spend more time recording and less time pretending that your $4,000 Gibson isn't a tuning disaster on every single take. And finally, no neck dive. You know that thing where the headstock tries to murder your knee mid-song? Gone. It's almost like removing a chunk of wood from the furthest end of the lever changes the balance of said lever. Shocking, I know! Ergonomically, this all makes sense, which probably explains why so many guitar players absolutely hate it. Anyway, let's check out Solar's first headless and see if they got it right. And here it is, out of the box. It's ready to play. It's super light, super comfortable, fits in your lap, classical position, no problem. If you're going to do the nut crunching position, sure, it'll hold in place there. It'll play on this leg, I guess, as well. And you can just do this thing if you want to do like stretch playing, that kind of thing. That makes a lot of sense because of this little wing right here. Really cool stuff, but enough of my yak. Let's hear the damn thing. Didn't quite get that squeal there, but I'll work on it. That's a technique thing. It's not a guitar thing, that's for sure. I just need to practice a little bit more. But I always feel it's important to show the mistakes for everybody out there watching to know that, no, not everybody on the internet is flawless. Actually, that's usually not the case. Most people are just lying through their teeth when they go to edit their videos. I try to leave the human part in because I feel like that's what makes things interesting. Gotta say though, I'm having a lot of fun with this one. It's just an awful lot of fun to sit around and jam on. And the fact it doesn't take up a lot of space is really killer too. I just wish, somebody would figure out a way how to put this on a freaking stand because I've just got wall hangers and whatnot. And yeah, it doesn't lend itself too well to that. And it could probably use some rubber feet or something like this so we could like stand it up on the floor. I don't fucking know what the solution is there. Anyway, let's give this guitar the strap-on test and see what's going on with the neck dive. Let's see how well balanced this thing is going to be for stage use. Yeah, that holds in place extremely well. That's not going to get away from you, which is freaking awesome. Okay, before I get myself carried away, I want to say today's signal chain is a whole bunch of different things that don't sound anything like a 5150 and a vintage 30. So for the amp, I'm actually using an Engel Fireball 100. Before that, we've got a Colleen 10-band EQ that I picked off on Amazon for like, I don't know, $60, $75 Canadian. Not too much there. And in the effects loop, I've got the Master Effects Puppet Master EQ, and that's just giving me a little bit more control over how the overall guitar sounds. But the big contributing factor is the speaker and the microphone. So on the speaker, we're using the brand new Carnivore from Eminence and Christian Cola. Killer metal speaker. But the overall key, why this doesn't sound like every other metal sound you're hearing online these days, is because I'm using the new Roswell cab mic. That thing's fantastic. You set it up about 6 inches back from the speaker, dead center, and just let the mic do the work. I've got no post EQ going on at all. It's all just in the effects loop, on the amp itself, and before the amp. But I don't have to treat the signal afterwards, which saves a lot of grief during the mix stage. If you're looking to step up your guitar recording game, take a serious look at the Roswell cab mic. I've been using it the last few weeks and it's just blown me away how well it not only works by itself, but in a mix as well. Now, one thing I always check for is the output jack. I want to know how solid it is. And I like how it's tucked in here just underneath and it's facing upside down like those RJ guitars that I reviewed a while back did. And I thought that was really cool because it decreases your chance of things falling out and going wrong while you're on the stage. I think Ola's got a video up on his channel about shit not happening in front of hundreds and thousands of people. Not embarrassing at all. Anyway, yeah, this is rock solid. Like, you really got to yank on this to get it to come out. So somebody was really thinking when they did that. I think that's really cool. And overall, though, I would say that's what makes this guitar gig ready. I mean, let's pull it out of the box. It's ready to go, as it should be. I mean, like, there's so many great guitars out there coming from so many companies these days. I think it's really important that the guitar be set up correctly and ready to play as soon as you open it. Otherwise, you can go to another brand that will do that. I think a lot of manufacturers should probably consider that and step up their game. Otherwise, they could wind up losing customers over that. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's no fun to buy a guitar, whether it's cheap or expensive, and then you got to wait, especially if you don't know how to set up a guitar, for a tech to look at it to get it to play correctly. I much prefer this style of doing things, just like, hey, let's just have it work. I know, weird, right? And of course, everybody wants to know, especially when buying a headless guitar designed for metal, how well the clean sounds work. Lovely. And again, this guitar is just set up brilliantly. It's so easy to play. Ha! Almost there. Not quite, but it is getting ever so closer. I know you guys have been watching the show over the last few years and seen me get that steadily better and better and better. It's something I work on nearly every single day. I'm actually able to reach up there now. I just got to kind of get the timing just slightly better. Otherwise, yeah, I'm almost there. Outstanding. Let's give this guitar the Spectre Sound 5-star breakdown. So for packaging, 4 stars. It showed up in a box. In fact, it showed up in 2 boxes, with a gig bag even, and no evidence of it being used as a battering ram by UPS. That alone deserves applause in 2025. Now, if it came with a hard shell case, we'd be looking at perfection, but alas, capitalism giveth and capitalism half-asseth. Setup, 5 stars. Setup on this guitar is absolutely flawless. The action's perfect right out of the box. There's no buzzing, no dead frets, and no need to grab the nearest Allen key in a fit of rage, unlike some other guitars I've purchased over the years. It plays like it was prepped by somebody who actually gave a flying fuck. Like, they took the time to make sure that the customer could actually play the guitar instead of treating setup like some kind of optional DLC. That's compared to some factory setups on guitars that cost 3 times as much, which usually feel like they're done by a guy wearing oven mitts while blindfolded while clearly not being paid enough. This guitar was a refreshing change. Everything felt dialed in and ready to go straight out of the gate. Just plug in and go. Honestly, it's one of the best setups I've seen at this price point. And to those companies out there selling the really expensive stuff, please take notes because you can learn something here. Whoever set this guitar up deserves a raise, or at the very least, a coffee. Better yet, coffee with Ola. Components, 4.5 stars. These tuners here, those are fantastic. They turn smoothly without a shredded fingertips. There's no unnecessary gym membership required to tune it. If you've ever played a GOC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this string retention system they got back here, that is freaking genius. You can snip the ends of the strings after locking them down like a normal person. There's no more threading wire like a bomb defusal tech at 2 in the morning. I just wish this little fin they had sticking out here was a bit longer because we could stick a clip-on tuner there. But I have figured out a little workaround, and that is actually put the clip-on tuner right here. Seems to work pretty well right there. But this surprise fan fret, that's like ordering a burger and finding out it comes with bacon for free. Unexpected and very welcome. Fit and finish, 4 stars. Visually, it's a stunner. The matte black finish is smooth and consistent with no blotches or overspray or anything like that. It just kind of picks up the fingerprints a little bit. Not nearly as bad as gloss black though. The body contours here are clean and overall it looks way more expensive than it actually is. I had a friend over and I asked him what he thought and he said $2,000. Nope, not even close. Neck joint here is solid. There's no weird gaps. There's no loose hardware, no rattling screws, none of the usual budget guitar red flags. Oh yes, and it was grounded properly too. Not mentioning any names, of course, there. This thing feels like it was actually inspected before it got tossed in a box. The fretwork is smooth. There's no sharp ends, no snags where you slide your hand up and down the neck, and no weird hide spots that kill your notes. Great job overall. Overall, 4.5 stars. This is a $599 fan fret headless guitar that punches so far above its weight class, it might as well be cheating. It's solid, it's slick, and it's fun as hell to play, and it doesn't feel like a budget compromise. It feels like a win. The build quality is fantastic, the hardware is well thought out, and the setup is absolute perfection. Nothing about this guitar feels half-assed. It feels like this was really well thought out in the design process and shockingly during quality control as well. You can throw this into a gig bag, hit the stage, and nobody would know you only paid $600 for it. Hell, you might even forget it. It plays great, it looks like it'd do well on a metal stage or playing with Devo, and it's priced so aggressively that Strandberg should probably start sweating. Now, when I first saw this thing, I'm like, okay, Ola, what the hell did you copy this time? Because it looks suspiciously like that Hills Headless I just reviewed a few weeks ago. And I was already bracing myself to throw him out of the Flantwagen, that's Swedish for fart bus in case you're wondering, because the internet loves a betrayal story. And then I actually played it and holy fuck, it is definitely not the same guitar. Honestly, I gotta say, it's a little bit better. It fixes half of the stupid design flaws I've come to expect in headless guitars. That's not including the Hills, though, by the way. Those are pretty great. But string changes are super easy, tuning is super comfortable, and this slightly raked fretboard was a total stealth win. The fact that this guitar exists for only $599 is almost offensive, especially if you paid $3,000 for a made in USA guitar. And let's not forget, this isn't some vaporware like the Harley Benton Dualahan V2, which has been coming soon, longer than Half-Life 3. This is real, it's in stock, and it's ready to go. And compared to a Strandberg Bowden, this is about $500 cheaper. Solar did not just build a headless guitar, they launched a missile straight at every other budget headless trying to phone it in. And this time, Ola hit the damn target. Don't lose your head over it. So guess what? Well, Hollywood, if you're looking to step up your... fuck, let me shorten that up a little bit. This thing feels like it was actually inspected before it got tossed in a box. Now, when I first saw this guitar, I thought...